All right, here are my favorites from the week of July 12th through the 18th. These are the ones that went around to friends, family, clients, and go up on the blog. It was a bit of a short week for me. I ended up with my back going out and spent a lot of time on a cane, so it should be pretty quick. Maybe I'll show you something else that I was playing with in regards to the upcoming book stuff. So it finally got nice again offshore. It had been a little rowdy, so I was able to get out on a small boat and kind of capture, that lower point of view on some stuff and cover a little bit more ground. And here, this one, this is off of a rib, and you can see, you're literally right there with these common dolphins as they race alongside the boat when they come out to see what you're up to. They're really boat interested. And this one, I liked the vertical spray of water. It seemed unique. Usually you see it along the flanks, but this guy, whatever he was doing, he was creating that pulse straight up. Another look, little dolphin next to probably mom, cow calf. It's got some fun water spray. Real low perspective again from that small rib boat. Another look at, how interactive you are with these animals out there. So this was offshore blues rib, and we had gone out in kind of midday-ish, but there wasn't a ton of sun. We're still waiting for that to come back a little bit. Another shot where I really like when I can look at the water and just kind of lose myself in that. And it's not just about, the dolphin here. It's also what's the water doing? How's it breaking apart? Because every time it's unique and it's different. And, I enjoyed that aspect of it for sure. Still working for that, great textbook compare the sea lion and the seal. At low tide, this seal has been hanging out on the rocks over by the cove. Thought this one was decent in terms of, if you really look at the details, you can see the claws on the seal's flipper. You can see that it just basically laying on its side, where the sea lion is able to rotate its rear hips, get up on its front flippers, stand up, kind of do that. Look at a cormorant. I really liked the eye detail on this one, as well as, these birds. I don't know enough about these birds to really speak to it intelligently, I guess, but in my head, they're much darker, and this one had, this patterning of coloration here, which I found nice. Another attempt at that what's the difference between a seal on your left and sea lions on your right. This one I thought represented again how sea lions can get up and move around a different way. There's also multiple sea lions, which is more common than with the seals for sure. This guy was just standing thinking about life, and I found it hilarious. So up against a fallen palm frond on the cliffs in La Jolla, and something about it just didn't seem concerned about me. I wasn't super close to it at all, but it just was either standing at a bar or I don't know exactly what I had in my head, but it was just funny. There's another look at it. This one might even be funnier to me. For whatever reason, it reminded me of sitting at a bar. Those days are long gone, but maybe it made me reminisce a little bit. While we're here, because I think there's only one more day on the water left, I'll show you another thing that I did, reminiscent of the old days when I was working in some different fields a little bit. But we're working on a pair of books, a photo book and a children's book, my wife and I. But put this together so that I could see actively kind of how things laid out as far as spread, so do these photos really work together? And these are just example ones. and then, you know, it tells me what's on the page before, so in case I want to avoid duplicity or whatever, and then I can enter in, like, okay, I want to put in the yellow crowned night heron, and I can see, you know, do these speak to each other on the same kind of spread, or are they problematic to each other? So spent some time doing that while my back wasn't behaving enough to be out wandering around or being bounced around on boats. So hopefully that'll be coming. Probably start putting a lot more work onto it when kiddo starts kindergarten here before too long, and then yeah, maybe towards the end of the year. So continuing the last little bit of these photos, I got out again. The weather's been so good out there. It's just been no wind. The swell's been reasonable. You know, even on the days that have 4-foot swells, it's 4 foot at 17 seconds or whatever. So it's not just bang, bang, bang. Here's a look at gone whale watching. You know, and dolphins racing in front of them. Everybody's kind of connected out there, so everybody knows everybody. I send these photos around to the other brands. I liked this one. This was probably my favorite shot of this week. Just the just kind of how the contrast, I think, really lays it out for me. That low perspective where the flukes kind of align with the horizon, how the horizon's blending based on how much glare there was. Yeah, it's the cameras struggle a little bit in these conditions to pick up focus, because until you've got an animal up there that the camera can actually say, oh, I see something, it's a lot of gray on gray on gray, and it really struggles. So these ones I tend to lose the first couple shots off of the sequence, but I was glad I got this one. I thought this was a good photo, especially cropped down a little differently. This is kind of the native crop, but pulled down a little bit, which I showed, I'm sure, is I think it's a good shot. This one I liked based on what you can see. And again, a lot of these are things that I like and I send around to my friends, family. Yeah, I just want them to maybe learn a little bit or see what I see. You can see the flippers glowing here. Now, a humpback whale, which this is, has the largest pectoral flippers of any animal on the planet, even bigger than the blue whales. And you can get an idea of that because as it's surfacing, you can see that glow. This one had a lot of white on the upper surface of its pectoral fins, and you can see how wide it really stretches through the water. So that's really what gravitated me towards this photo. Another, you know, deeper dive or sounding dive. This one I liked as well. I kind of like the other one a little bit better, but this one's got maybe a little bit more of that contrast with the one wave sort of getting some shadowing. Yeah, the glary days do some weird stuff, and it's cool. A look at a water splash as a dolphin races along. This one reminded me of a butterfly. Again, I truly enjoy water splashes, water shapes, you know, to really get into that image. This one's got the reflection. It's got the reflection of the water spray. It's a good example of how nice the day was. Ironically, the two little wannabe influencers on board were violently sick on this horrible, horrible, stormy day. And then we're complaining about it, made us go in early. You can tell it's lake flat. So I think it had more to do with what they had decided to smoke in the parking lot before, probably. You know, welcome to your first trip to California, children. But yeah, it was pretty funny to see human beings desperately trying to create their own content, getting the that selfie video look in between hurling off the side of the boat, and then, you know, wipe it off and get that. Oh, it was pretty good. I there's times that I wish I wasn't so friendly with all the boats and all the companies, because I would film stuff like that if I didn't have to come see the same captains and the same people over and over. Anyway, I'm jaded. A lot of people liked this one, and it's funny because, you know, usually the shots with facial details and in particular eyes do really well for me. Kind of in the groups that let me know, you know, what they like. This one, you know, you've got the wave here splashing kind of up and out. You've got the big drips of water from the far distance of the drop. You know, a lot of contrast between the subject, both the water drops and the wave. This one will end up on my site, I'm sure. I think that might be it. Yeah, that's it for the week. So thanks for the watch, and if you're on my website, all of the settings are going to be down below. You might learn something on kind of how you set up to capture motion like this if you're into photography. If you're on a video hosting site, I do link to my website, which has my blogs and, you know, those details, maybe some other odds and ends, as well as, you know, a lot of previous work and whatever. So I invite you to jump off those video hosting sites and come over to my site. And I look forward to doing this again next week. Thanks a lot.